Hello guys and welcome back. Hope you all are doing great. So in the last video we created we set up our project. We added all our assets. We created our player. We added a camera follow script. So when we click on play, our player is able to move and our camera is following the player. But now we are able to move through our walls as well. So we want to make sure that our player doesn't do that. So for that, what we'll do is we will add some colliders to our map. So let's see how we can do it. So first of all, let's create an empty game object and let's reset it and let's call this map holder. Okay, and drag our map, this Among Us map HD to our map holder and make it a child of it. Now you can see here the walls are very much irregular, so we cannot use box collider here. We have to use a special type of collider which can be edited. So click on this add component. So in Among Us, this right click and create an empty game object and we'll call this poly collider 1. Okay, and then click on add component and search for polygon collider 2D and then click on it. So you can see here we are able to see our polygon collider. So this collider we will add to this wall. So I will just move it to here somewhat. Okay, now click on this edit icon and we can edit it. And if you created something which you don't want, you can always click on control and you get this red color. So you can just delete it like this. Let's see. Okay, what happened? Select on the red color, select on the edge and you delete the edge. Okay, so let's adjust the edge first. So let's first adjust it like a rough way so that we can make it better afterwards. Okay, so let's adjust. So for one thing guys, at these edges do not make it sharp like this. Okay, so do not do this thing because we are going to include AI in this game and our AI has to move, right? So these sharp edges will cause issues while movement of our AI, so we will not use it. So let's click on Ctrl Z to undo that and let's select this. Okay, select this like this and make a slope here somewhat like this. So if we have this slope like this, then our AI can easily move. Okay,
Hey guys, hope you're enjoying this episode. My name is Mayank Grover. I'm the founder of Outscal. I wanted to take a minute to tell you about our flagship game development program where we take students all the way from starting to job ready in 6 months. We directly partner with over 100 plus game companies where we help students directly crack into these companies by giving them the right kind of skills, both technical as well as non-technical, and getting them in front of these companies for interview processes. If you're interested in becoming a full stack game developer, please check out our website, www.outscale.com, or check the link in the description below. Now back to this episode.
Okay, so as you can see here guys, we have added the collider to it and it is surrounding all the wall edges. And if I click on play, and if I try to move through the colliders, you can see we are unable to move, and our character is also rotating on z-axis, which we don't want. So let's click on unpause, select the player, select this constraint and select this freeze rotation on z-axis. And if I click on play and try now our player won't rotate on z-axis, you can see. Okay, so in similar way we have to add all the colliders to all our walls. Now to make this thing easy, let's import the asset. So let's import the Among Us Part 2 asset. Now the asset will be provided to you guys. It will be in the link will be in the description. I click on import. Once you have imported, you will see we have this folder named prefabs, and we have these 3 prefabs. So first one is the collider. So if I drag the map with the collider, you can see we have all the colliders attached to it, right? Let's delete this thing. Let me just show you what are the things which will be included in this map, so that we can directly add this map with task. So first we need to create an empty game object, and we will add petrol points. Okay, so petrol points will be the points for our AI to move towards. So this will be used whenever our AI has completed all his tasks and he just keep moving in the map. So that time this will be used. So we can create an empty game object here. We can call this point 1. We can give this color to this icon. So we can use this red icon. If you can see here, it is here. Let's increase the gizmos little bit so that we can easily see. Okay, so let's point 1, enter. Okay, so here it is, our point 1. Select the select this transform tool, and you can like basically set it like this anywhere. Okay, so here just to make sure that this enemy can move towards that portion of our map. So like this you can scatter all the petrol points throughout your map, so that it keeps moving towards any one of them, and it looks like they are what you can say, simulating moving here and there in our map. So like this we have to add all the petrol points, and we also need task points. So basically task points are the points where we have the task to be performed, and that will be used both by our AI as well as by our player. So select this map folder, right click and create an empty game object, and we'll call this task holder, and inside this task folder we'll create an empty game object. And first of all we will create a task in this cafeteria. So cafeteria task, let's say 1, and the gizmos, we'll select this icon and select this yellow one, this one. Now we know that the task in our cafeteria are here. This one is one task, and there is one more, this one and this one as well. So in task we have 2 things. So let's create. So one is, if we go to our UI, we have this info icon. So let's drag it here as a child of it. So right now we are unable to see it. Let's set the layer to maybe 1, and let's set the x-axis and y-axis to 0. So it comes here, right? And we also have one more icon, if I can find it. Okay, let's add the circle. So this will be highlight. Okay, and let's set it to be 1 and x to be 0 and 0, and we will reduce its size and we'll make it yellow, right? So let's deactivate this info icon. Now this highlight icon we are using is because whenever we assign task to our player, our player has to know like which are the tasks has been assigned to him. So these are the highlight which will be blinking in the game, which will like give an idea of to the player like this is the task which has been assigned to him. And this info icon, so this will be used for our minimap thing. So whenever our player click on minimap icon, a minimap will be open, and this info icon will give us an example like where the tasks are assigned throughout the map. So this is what our layout for our map will be. So first of all, let me deactivate this thing and let's drag our prefab. So let's drag our Among Us map with task prefab, and we need to assign the position, right? So let's double click on it. So right now it also has one of the map called this Among Us skeleton map. So let's deactivate it. This will be our mini map. We will talk about it afterwards. Select this, select the move tool, and let's move it towards our player like this somewhat. Okay, and if I click on play, you will see our player can move. There is wall throughout the map assigned already, and we are able to move now in more better way. Okay, and in Among Us we have these 3 polygon colliders. You can see these all 3 polygon colliders. Then we have this task position holder, so it holds all the tasks, and the task also has a collider attached to them. So this is used whenever our player has the task assigned. We need a collider to detect whether we are near the task or not, and then we can complete the task. And this task has that highlight icon and info icon as well. And we also need petrol points. Okay, so this prefab Among Us map with petrol points has everything. So let's copy the position of this one and paste it here, and let's delete the Among Us map with task, and let's deactivate this Among Us skeleton map first. Okay, so we have these petrol points and we have this task. So we need to create a script for our task, so to hold the information like at what is the area our task is assigned and what is the task, so that we can display it here in our game for our player to understand it in more better way. So in our scripts folder, let's create a new folder and we'll call this task. So all the scripts related to this task will be go inside this, and we'll create a new C# script called task base. Double click on it to open it, and let's add a namespace Outscal, and let's remove start and update. Okay, so here what we are doing is, first of all, we create a new public struct task info, and this structure defines what will be task info. So in that we have a public string area, so it will tell whichever area the task is in. Then we have a public string task description, and we have a public transform task location, and we make it system.serializable so that we can edit it from our inspector. Then in our task base, so make sure guys this structure is outside your public class task base. Okay, now inside our class task base, we create a private task info variable and we make it serialized field, and we also have a private game object variable highlight and map icon, and we create a getter for our task info so that we can access this information from this task base whenever we want. And we also have a private collider 2D object collider, so it is used to keep the reference of the collider component attached to this game object. And in awake method, we are setting our object collider is equal to get component collider 2D. So you can see in our task we have this collider, so we get reference to it. Now select all of these tasks and drag the script to them, and we get this information. So what you have to do is you have to just add the information here. So we have highlight and we have map icon. The area is cafeteria, so I'll just copy this and paste it. And what is the task? Task is to download data. So what you can do, I can just copy this thing and I will just see whatever task which have this download. So it has a download, this one has download, this one has download. I will just paste it here, and then we have to also assign there what you can say, these highlights. So guys, do one thing, just assign all this information. We have to assign this highlight, this map icon, and we also have this task location. So task location is itself only, so this one, task location. Then this will be cafeteria, and it is connect the wire. So you can basically give the description whatever you like. So just make sure guys you fill all this information here and assign all these things. So next we need one more script, which will be the service task service script, which will hold all the reference to the task, and basically that script will help to provide tasks to all our characters and the UI and all this thing. So we'll create a new C# script and we'll call this task service. Double click on it. Now here let's remove this start and update. We don't need it right now. We'll add a namespace Outscal, and here we'll create a private task base array, and we'll call this task, and we'll make it serialized field so that we can edit it from inspector. Serialize. Okay. And we also need a getter for it so that we can access all these array, complete array from other scripts as well. So public, let's copy this thing, paste it here. Let's make the T capital, and we'll call this get task. Okay. So let's save the script and go back to our editor. Select our task position holder, drag our task service to it, and let's lock this inspector. Click on this lock icon. Now select all the tasks and drag it here on the tasks, and you can see everything gets filled up. And now we can select the task position holder, unlock this thing and save this thing. So select the Among Us map and we will save it in our prefabs folder. So in our Among Us folder, let's create a new folder and we'll call this prefabs. And in this prefab, we can drag and create a new original prefab out of that. And let's delete this map folder, we don't need it. And also we can delete this prefab folder because we no more need it. Okay guys, so now we have added collider to our map, we have added petrol points to our map, we have added our task points as well, and we also have the information about the task, like what is the area, what is the purpose of the task and all those things. So this is for this video guys. I will see you in the next video. So thank you for watching and bye.